Thank you. I wish just to, I know I only have one chance to stand and speak on this, so I wish to touch on as many points as possible. I want to start by commending the comments of our group leader, who, when the chair spoke in his reflections about calling on integrity, I can think of no one who has more integrity when it comes to the issue of permitted development rights. And our leader stands in direct contrast with a leader who, unfortunately, a few years ago, chose to have a rogue landlord as the sponsor of a town centre awards, which I just gently say, I wish he would reflect on that, because unfortunately we've seen this tragedy unfold whereby people have been housed in substandard conditions. In some cases, the floor space of these flats are smaller than 2 standard parking spaces, and these simply are not fit to be homes. For the second time in a row, Harlow has featured in the Town and Country Planning Association's photo book showcasing from across the country shameful examples of permitted development rights. One example was Pear Tree House in the Temple Fields area. The other example was, again, for the second time in a row, Terminus House. So I think we need to remember the people at the heart of this story, of the campaign for healthy homes, because it's fundamentally people who are being impacted, and I'm pleased that at least our leader had the integrity to recognise that from the off. I just wish to turn to Councillor Charles, if I may, and I do welcome the news about the disabled adaptation grant. I do wish he would meet with me separate to this meeting, just to talk about a piece of casework I've been dealing with in the past year, where unfortunately my ward resident wasn't able to access that specific fund. He was very proactive in responding at the time, and I do thank him for that, but perhaps we could have a conversation separate to this meeting to explore that further. But he did reply at the time, and I'm grateful for that. And then just finally, as we talk about regeneration, which, as our group leader said, this is a fertile ground for cross-party working. We all want to see our town centre regenerated. What I just want to put out there as an idea is for some of the older estates around our town, particularly in the neighbourhood groups. So in my own ward, I think about Bishopsfield in particular. I would encourage the administration to work with us to identify some of those legacy housing estates which could do with some TLC. I know the administration has talked about regeneration to the broader whole, but just to really drive that point, that there are specific neighbourhoods in our town that could do with the same attention and focus. I'll leave it there. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor.
It's just a very quick thing, really. Councillor Charles talked about the adaptations for people in their own homes, and I know that at one time there was quite a long waiting list for people to get those adaptations done, and I just would like to know how that's going and whether that's improved since this has, since that extra money has gone in or anything, whether that has changed anything. So really it's just about keeping an eye on that. Really, it's a really good thing. I'm not criticising it in any way. I'm just, know that from my experience in previous work, how it has impacted people waiting a long time.
Thank you, Councillor Shiz. I'm conscious you're asking a question there of Councillor Charles, who isn't understanding orders and able to speak, but I'm sure Councillor Charles will find you out or get you the answer to your question. Is there anyone else wishes to speak at this stage? Councillor Edwards.
There's been numerous announcements made over the years by Councillor Swords. I remember one that I went through your Harlow today. So demolition work begins to clear the way for a start to Harlow Town Centre regeneration scheme. When was that? Oh, that was the 12th of November 2022. And there's a picture of Councillor Swords with people from Strawberry Star, and him saying how this was turning a new chapter. And here we are in 2025. The Strawberry Star site looks like a bomb site. It's accessible, it's dangerous, it's no doubt rat infested. And we've talked about, there's been announcements about, oh, we're going to go for a compulsory purchase on it. That was announced in March, I believe. Any further forward on it? Not that I've heard of. Perhaps you could tell us later on today, give us the information as to where we got there. Then we had the, where were we? September 24. Harlow Town Centre bus station. Transformation as town centre enters new phase. Councillor Saul said the temporary move will allow us to speed up the delivery of a brand new bus station. So where is any work being done on the brand new bus station? The previous council meeting I said, when's the work going to start? The reply I got was shortly. When I asked what shortly meant, I got, oh, it means what the Oxford English Dictionary meant. Well, perhaps he could be actually a bit more forthcoming and actually tell us when the work is going to start on the Harlow bus station. Because we were told in 2020, September time, that it was going to take about 18 months. Well, you've had nearly a year so far, not far short, 8 months, 10 months, a year so far, and no work started. So when is the work going to start? We need to know. Equally, in, where are we? This was again September 2024, a new era for Broadwalk with the next phase of building Harlow Town Centre. And they were talking about the repaving, etc. of Broadwalk. In the small print in there, it says it's going to take at least 18 months to do. So I hope people are really happy with what's going on in Harlow, because you're not halfway through yet in terms of the work that's going on in the town centre. And in the meantime, as Councillor Griggs pointed out, what's happening as far as the maintaining of the flower beds that were put in by the Market Square? Absolutely nothing. Complete and utter disgrace. What's happening in terms of when you walk around the town centre and you look at the dereliction of the Strawberry Star site? We're not even insisting that Strawberry Star make the place safe. You go over by the Odeon Cinema, the fencing is down. The Odeon Cinema is a complete and utter disgrace. So where are the council on that? Then we had, what was it, Burnt Mill Towers. We were told, ooh, let me have a look. Sorry. June 25, sorry, my apologies. February 25, residents are set to move into the 172 apartment Burnt Mill Towers shortly, we were being told.
Shortly.
We then came up, the questions were asked at the last council meeting, how many residents, etc., are there in there? Oh, we're up to speed on that. The residents are in. I subsequently went and spoke to an officer a couple of weeks later. Said, how many residents are there in there, actually in? I was told there were 8. I was also told that there were no residents in the affordable housing bit. Why? Because at that point, the contract had only just been signed. So for all the hyperbole, on the one hand, there's enormous delays. Enormous delays. We all want to see the
I'd like to wrap up.
30 seconds. We all want to see the
Try and do
transformation
quicker.
of this town. But what we actually need to see going alongside that is to ensure that A, promises that are made are delivered in a timely way, and B, that there is some transformation plan which goes alongside it to assist in terms of ensuring that the lights of the town centre at least looks halfway presentable in the meantime. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. There being no further indications, I'm going to move 16.2G,